Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. More adrenaline.
You know, it's a pretty interesting time to be alive. What's the saying that made the times you live in be interesting? We have accomplished that.
And more testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal. And they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a mother. Why not?
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. Broadcasting live from the Generator Power Solutions studio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay Edwards.
Oh, man, the best intro in talk radio. Well, at least from 7 to 9 a.m. on Monday mornings is the best intro in talk radio. Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. I am live in the Generator Power Solutions studio on this Memorial Day 2021. Man, it was a big weekend. I've got a huge guest sitting across from me, and I'm going to get to him in 1 second. But I got to lead the show off with big condolences, big rest in peace to Mississippi Highway Patrol Trooper John Harris. He lost his life in a traffic accident, or during a traffic stop. He lost his life when an 18-wheeler clipped him, or whatever exactly happened, man. And look, we are the law enforcement. How do I say it? We always support law enforcement here at the Clay Edwards Show. Y'all know that's what we do. They have a GoFundMe set up. Well, it's not actually a GoFundMe. It's a Facebook fundraiser, and it is set up by another charity that's ran by a fellow state trooper. It surpassed $100,000 over the weekend. John had two young kids, a wife. If you feel it in your heart that you would like to donate some money to Trooper John Harris's family, you can go to the Save Jackson page, that's Save JXN. Just scroll down till you see it, or just type in Facebook search bar, raising money for the John Harris family. This is a legit fundraiser. The money's going straight to the family. So we just want to send our prayers out to all of our friends with the Mississippi Highway Patrol, all of our friends in law enforcement, and to John's family, kids, friends, co-workers, and all that. So very, very sad day around here, but we will. This too shall pass. So it's Memorial Day. I've got a U.S. veteran, a #1 hit album holder, a #1 hit single holder, and a Mississippian sitting right across from me. Topher, how the heck are you?
Fantastic, man. Glad to be here, finally get a chance to get the word out about what's going on and all the success I've had and we've seen here in Mississippi. So
over 1 million social media followers.
Yes, sir.
Untold millions of YouTube views, Spotify spins, Apple spins, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And you've done all that as independently as one person can.
As independent as one person can.
So I asked the question, and I really didn't think you were going to tell me the answer you gave me. I said, have you ever been interviewed or had your song played by anybody in Mississippi?
Not that I know of, and no one has reached out to me. It's kind of weird, especially with everyone talking about, the success you can have and doing it on your own and just creating an avenue with your community and uplifting yourself. And here I am with a #1 billboard, and no one has said anything, right? The crazy thing is, it's not even a bad song. It's very positive. My music has no curse words in it. And, I touch on very real values and nothing, just no peep.
That's crazy. So I met Topher the Sunday before the 2020 election. There was a Trump car rally, flag drive rally. Those things that were really popular there in 2020. Met him in Florence, and he had just been on Fox and Friends on Fox News that morning. I was like, that's cool. And admittingly, I had not heard of Topher. But I went over there, I introduced myself. I was like, well, this is cool. I come from a hip hop background with the clubs and being a promoter and all that stuff. So I always like meeting people who are out just hustling. I love to meet people who are out making things happen without a whole lot of help. And even at the time, I didn't realize just how big this guy was in that digital scene. And so I'm sitting there, fast forward a little bit. The whole election thing happens. The January 6th thing happens. All this stuff. And I know that I'd seen you guys on a live stream at the January 6th thing at the Capitol. Tell us a little bit about that. So let me set the scene for them. You guys were there performing live for the Veterans for Trump.
Veterans for Trump Coalition. It wasn't planned, right? Veterans, we just answer the call of duty whenever it happens. But I was invited to just participate and be in the VIP section and to listen to the speeches going down. And the Marine rapper called me and said, hey, Veterans for Trump Coalition want us to perform the Patriot. And this is a brand new song. We released the Patriot December 19th. It hit number 1 on iTunes December 24th. It was a hard month that month because, Mariah Carey and Christmas is just nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So we had a tough competition, but we still prevailed. And then so the song started to get out, and a lot of people was using it and just using it as a unifying song and a rallying song. And I said, sure, let's perform it. And we walked all the way over there it wasn't at the Capitol. It was about a block or two away. And we was just rehearsed a little bit, and we got there, performed the song. And, yeah, it's like by the time we got off stage, that's when the whole Capitol incident went down.
So could you see all that chaos from where you were?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, they've tried to paint a picture of everyone who was there in Washington, D.C. was somehow storming the Capitol. And I can make an argument. Look, I support what went down on January 6th. I support the fact that America stood up and said, we're not going to take this. And if it was a true insurrection, we would have fired guns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to call it an insurrection is a bit of a stretch, to say the least. People were in there. It was a photo op is what it was. It was just to remind folks, hey, you don't live in a glass bubble that's impenetrable.
Right.
I think we all should be reminded of that. I tell the story all the time. We all need to be tuned up every now and then. My boss catches me slipping at work and he tunes me up. I'm probably going to be a better employee the rest of the day at least. I think I'd go no different for our politicians.
Yeah, it kind of have no repercussion or any pressure, actual pressure to make sure they look out for the American people. But I feel like that was the first one. It was weird to me, too, that AOC is taking the extreme to this. And recently she said that basically what they experienced during that so-called insurrection was similar to what troops face when we're in war.
It's insulting.
Very insulting.
Absolutely insulting. I mean, I'm obviously not a veteran, but I would have to assume as a veteran that's mind-boggling insulting.
Yeah, very insulting. When you got security guards, no one was armed. You was in a secure facility, which she wasn't even in the main facility, which we found out later on. She was somewhere else, not even in the Capitol, really. That's
the part that blew my mind. She was not even in the building.
No.
She was just over there just TikToking away on an Instagram story or whatever. Oh, my God, I'm in danger. They're going to murder me.
No one was nowhere near her. And
unfortunately not. Good Lord, man. Addition by subtraction.
Well, victimhood it pays high dollars, People want to feel like someone's out to get them. Which, to me, we have a Second Amendment for people coming out to get you. So if you truly feel like someone had a target on your back, then you have that. But like I said, it's a lot of money in it. People throwing pity parties and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, nothing is done. And I've never been a fan of it because I always tell people, if there's an issue and all you do is complain about it, then you're just a whiner. I am a winner. So if there's an issue, I don't complain about it. I find a way to fix it and find a solution. I don't want to be a whiner. I want to be a winner.
Absolutely. And you may not be able to fix a problem, but you can fix yourself within that problem.
Absolutely.
Where that problem doesn't, like I live in Jackson. Well, I just moved right outside the city limits, but living in Jackson, people are like, you need to quit being negative. You need positive solutions. We need positive solutions only. I'm like, we're past the positive solutions part for everybody else. I need to create a positive solution for me so I'm not so negative about this anymore. And for me, that is showing the ugly around here and exposing it and let everybody see what's going on and moving my butt across into a different county. That was my positive solution, but it fixed me.
Right.
And sometimes we have to look within and say, okay, what can I do to change this situation?
Control what you can control.
Absolutely. So when you guys got done with that, Spotify canceled you, huh?
Yeah, same day. Matter of fact, same day. As soon as we got off the stage and about an hour after we got done performing, we looked on Spotify. The Patriot was just removed without any warning, without any messaging, anything. As a matter of fact, I reached out to my distributor for about a full week before they finally hit me back and said, the Patriot is going to be removed from all stores. So, once again, no explanation or nothing, and I continued to reach out for another week or so, still nothing, until eventually I just moved on to another distributor. So, it was no reasoning, and only thing I could think of was they violated my constitutional right, my First Amendment right to, exercise my free speech.
Well, it was cancel culture, vultures, just at peak. I mean, coming after that, man, they were pinging people's cell phones to see if they were in D.C., and people's banks were canceling them. Like, no, we don't even want to bank with you because you were in D.C. that weekend. I mean, what in the I feel like that's probably illegal. I don't know. I haven't dove into the banking laws, but that's mighty presumptive of them to just assume that if you're in D.C. that you were storming the Capitol and attempting an insurrection.
Well, it was not only that, but I had friends who didn't even storm the Capitol, but were there just, capturing a moment with, cameras and stuff, and some of them got hit with charges.
Yeah.
All because, which is free to do because it's public space, is capture video. But some of them, I had a guy that, he had a lawyer up. They slapped charges on him. Some other people, it's just so weird how this whole thing went down. Because I'm just like, none of this went down with BLM when they was burning cities down, storming capitals and doing all the stuff they were doing. But here we are, way less violent, really what broke a window and maybe feces on the wall. That's about the most you can talk about. If you look at some of the videos, a lot of the MAGA supporters were cleaning up the mess they created after everything went down as well. It's just one of those things where they overblew it. And to have an excuse to erect a wall around the Capitol.
Dude, the more I look back at it, the more it feels like it was a big setup to do exactly what they did for the same people. And I know this has been said a million times, but I'm going to say it anyway. For the same people that sit here and cry about building walls, they built themselves a wall. Look, we're going to take a break here on the Clay Edwards Show. I've got special guest Topher in the studio with me. When we come back for the first time ever, we're going to play a Topher song on the radio in Jackson, Mississippi.
That's good.
Really excited about that. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. Real quick, man, let me tell you about Watkins Construction and Roofing. A roof repair can cause you a lot of stress. Choosing the right roofing company to repair your roof is very important. Most contractors try to convince you that replacement is the only way to go, and just frankly, that's not the Watkins way. They believe in an honest assessment that doesn't necessarily mean replacement. And in most cases, all you need is a repair. So whether you have a leaky roof, need chimney repair, flat roof repair, roof water leak, shingle roof repair, so on and so forth, give Watkins Construction and Roofing a call today for your complimentary roof assessment at 601-966-8233 or reach them online at watkinsconstructioninc.com. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB. All right, you're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. We were in here talking about shoes and let the break sneak up on us there. You look, man, one thing y'all know about me, I've said it before. I am a shoe guy. I know a lot of people are mad at Nike and this, that, and the other, but I've been rocking this stuff since I was a kid, and I got them on Memorial Day, red, white, and blue. I think these are Air Max 97s, 98s. I do tend to forget the names of them a little bit. So I've got Topher in studio. If you're not familiar with Topher, it's part of the big conservative rap movement, mega rap movement, whatever you want to call it. It's just not constantly rapping about sex, drugs, condoning violence against women, all that stuff. He's done it the right way. He's done it the hard way, to be honest. But he's got a #1 Billboard album and a #1 Billboard hit single. And we're not talking about some little weird alternate chart that doesn't count. We're talking about the digital charts, and all of it's digital now. So that's where the real movement's at. So it's super cool that we have a Mississippian, a veteran, and just a great American, Topher, in the studio with us. And I have an honor to sit here and say that we're going to play a Topher song, The Patriot, the #1 single, on Memorial Day. And it's the first time, to any of our knowledge, that it's been played in the state of Mississippi on radio.
First time, and like I said, I can't pick a better day. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm excited, and I'm very disappointed. I want to say this real quick. I'm very disappointed in radio in Mississippi. If he was rapping about sex, drugs, WAP, any of this other stuff, y'all have him all over the radio. If he was rapping about Black Lives Matter, y'all have him all over the radio. But because he doesn't think like that, somehow he's an outcast. Well, we're outcasts too, and we support other outcasts. So here is The Patriot by Topher. And the Marine rappers on this one too?
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on. I have a production is not my forte here. I think it's number 3 here. Okay, so with that said, little technical difficulties on my end here. We'll get to it in the next break. I don't want to sit here and bog it down trying to fix something live. Topher, what else is going on, man?
Well, right now we have, speaking of veterans, just point this out, The Patriot was produced by a Marine veteran, and me and the Marine rapper are also veterans, so it's an all-veteran song. And we, as Space Force, which includes me, the Marine rapper, and D-Cure, we put out an EP called Retreat. And it's produced by Killer Vic, the same producer for the Patriot. And it's #3 on iTunes right now. It's competing with legendary artists such as DMX and J. Cole. And, once again, clean music, nothing negative about it, no curse words. And we are competing with the best. And we're just asking people for, given the fact that it is Memorial Weekend and you have veterans doing some very positive things, because we make sure we raise issues when concerning veterans. If you could go grab that on iTunes or Amazon Music. We want to get this on Billboard just like we got the Patriot on Billboard.
All right, I think I've got this fixed over here. Let's try this one more time.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors have vowed. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down. September. My mama told me, yeah, she warned me that this day would come. I'm like my father, go to combat with the blazing guns. I survived that, then I came back to the place I'm from to face off all these haters and the battle in the place I love. You can't break me down, I'm indivisible. You still see my raps if I was invisible. But I'm standing tall, and I spit the truth. So you all appalled, cause you know it's true. They call it freedom cause the fallen troops pay for this. I love this country, doesn't matter how much hate I get. I take my colors in the battle, ain't no wavering. Cause this is for my warriors who marching to the cadences. This is for the sisters working hard on the ship. This is for the brothers getting y'all doctorate. Father, yeah, taking y'all on the ship. Baby, tell me why it's hard for the Patriot.
All right, so that was Topher. That was his number one hit song, The Patriot, being played for the first time ever right here on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB. So a hip-hop song being played on a conservative talk radio station in Mississippi on Memorial Day. There's a lot of firsts going on there. I just want to get that out of the way because this probably isn't the station you would expect to hear a hip-hop song on. But when you got a guy, an American first guy like Topher from Mississippi, we have no problem breaking molds, breaking stereotypes, whatever it is. We're going to rock out. So if you're just tuning in, you're like, well, what has happened to WYAB? And I'm getting texts from people right now that was some real stuff there. They're like, what has happened to WYAB? I mean, this is still the Clay Edwards Show. We have got Mississippi's only hip-hop artist with a number one record and a number one single in studio. He's an American. He's a pro-Trump guy, pro-American guy, Topher. So I just want to constantly push that. Topher, where can they find your music? And you do rants and stuff, too, on your YouTube channel. Like, you got one on LeBron James and some other stuff.
Yeah, I think I have a rant. I'm not sure if I did a song where I ranted on. I kind of found a way to kind of skirt around the system. You know, instead of just straight saying it, I decided to put it in songs to kind of get a little bit of security. It's like, oh, if you start banning songs, it'll be something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a song I called King James, just addressing the issue of just the flagrant ignorance LeBron James shows when it comes to issues when black people have encounters with the police. You know, I understand that historically America has not been the greatest towards, black people. That's just history. It's just known fact.
It is. I've been absorbing as much of that here the last week or so that I can, trying to educate myself on the Freedom Riders. We're coming up on the is it the 50th, 60th anniversary of the 60th anniversary of the Freedom Riders. It was the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa race massacre.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to educate myself on these things too, because I don't want to get up here and just be a fool and pretend that America has been a violent place. But man, to think how far we've come.
Exactly, and that's my thing. Is like I feel like so many people are refusing to acknowledge the progress because they want to hold on to these old embers of just hate and divide that should die out. It's like America has made great strides to make up for what they did to us, and I acknowledge that on a daily basis. And I know they have because I'm a Mississippi guy who grew up in Kilmichael, Mississippi, middle of nowhere, in what could consider historically the worst place to be as a black person.
Sure. I don't think too many people will argue that.
They definitely would not. And I can tell you firsthand that nothing has held me back except for my own decisions. And once I realized that, I started to make the right decisions, putting God first, putting family first, working, taking accountability for my actions, for my choices. And now I'm fully independent doing music, things that people dream of, right? People still sign major label deals because they can't do it on their own. But, by God's grace, I've just been able to do all these things that you see today and just building with the team, working smart, staying married, staying out of trouble. Like, I don't have run-ins with the police because I'm not out doing drugs. I'm not out staying late. I'm not violating any crimes. So I don't have to worry about police having a target on my back because I'm not doing none of the things that's going to put a target on my back.
I brought that up the other day. I'm a recovering addict. These are all things I wear proudly, or well, not proudly, but I wear it as a term of endearment. Like I don't hide any of it. As a former addict, just a complete hoodlum. Out running the streets doing things I shouldn't be doing. I should be a 10-time felon. It's only by the grace of God I don't have a single one. Just got lucky. That's all it was. God was looking down, had bigger plans for me. But I tell people all the time, when the police quit messing with me, Topher?
I could take an educated guess. When you stop doing illegal things.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
When I stopped doing illegal things, guess what what happened? The police quit messing with me. And now I went from being pulled over constantly, an addict, in jail, all these other things on a weekend basis. I never did more than 3 or 4 days. I don't want to pretend I've been to prison or nothing like that. We celebrated Police Week here last week. I had police chiefs, sheriffs, the DA from one of the counties, all these guests on all week in my studio on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm just saying, I say all that to say, no matter where you're at, you can turn it around.
Turn it right around.
You just got to decide, do you want that hashtag positive solution only in your life? Hey, look, man, we're going to take a break real quick. We're going to come back. We're going to play some more Topher music here throughout the show today. We've got another guest on the way, so we're looking forward to that. Y'all are listening to the Clay Edwards Show. Real quick, man, let me tell you about dumpsters in Mississippi. If you threw a big Memorial Day weekend party, you got a lot of garbage, you've had any storm damage, you're doing a remodel, or you're a contractor going in somewhere and doing a massive construction job, if you need rollback dumpsters, hit up Dumpsters of Mississippi. You can find them online on Facebook at Dumpsters of Mississippi, or give them a call today at 601-966-8599. We'll be right back here on 103.9 WYAB. All right, welcome back to the Memorial Day Live edition of the Clay Edwards Show. I've got my special guest, Topher, in studio. And look, man, there's a song that I play every Memorial Day, whether it's on my Facebook or whatever. So now that I'm on the radio, I want to play this song for y'all, man. 99 times out of 100, I'd rather pour bleach in my ears than listen to a Billy Ray Cyrus song. But this morning, I just want to play the first minute and a half of this because, how do I say it? Billy got this one right. All gave some gave all. All right, so little Billy Ray Cyrus, some gave all here on the Memorial Day. And that's what it's all about right there, man, is our military. That's why, like Kamala Harris said, we get a 3-day weekend. How disgraceful.
Yeah, have a long weekend is what she said. Or enjoy the long weekend.
Enjoy the long weekend. Because of all the sacrifices she made, I'm sure. Yeah. As a half black, half China, half American, whatever. You can only be so many halves, for one thing. How many firsts did she check off? She got to be the first Asian. She got to be the first woman. She got to be the first black woman. No, you got to pick one. You can't be that many first.
I always tell people the reason why Democrats rush to be first because they've always been last historically.
Yeah, they're gonna end up back last too.
Exactly.
I can assure you. I mean, if I have anything to do with it.
If I have anything to do with it, let's go.
Hey, you're first right now, so you're in the pole position. It helps.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask this. This is from just an entrepreneurial standpoint, man. I love people who did it their own way. I did it my own way. I'm carving my niche. I haven't reached number one in anything yet, but hey, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'll get there.
It's coming.
Do you find a lot of people always say, man, it's harder to defend as the champ than it is to become the champ. How are you finding that now that you have found some success? Is the hunger, is the drive still there? Is it even more to try to stay at the top?
It's absolutely a lot. It was a lot of pressure coming after, the Patriot being the number one Billboard, just smash hit. I'm seeing people across America, across the world. I had people from Sweden, Scotland, Australia just chiming in and playing the song and sending me videos. And I was like, I don't know if I can do anything that's going to, satisfy their hunger and their expectations. But then I dropped Circle Back and everyone was like, okay, he's not just a one-hit wonder. And once you realize it's more about consistency than it is quality sometimes, especially when it comes to artists, it's great. But I make sure that I put quality in what I do, so that's never been an issue. But just being more consistent. So I've made it my goal this year to do as many features as possible, put out as much music as possible, so we can keep this thing hot.
Yeah, you got to keep pushing out content. You got to look at it like content in a digital age. And everything might not get 1 million views, but those 200,000s add up just as nicely too. And it's the same thing with what I do with podcasts or my Facebook post or this, that, and the other. Everything might not go viral, but I'm going to keep pushing. I had a guy that's been pretty outspoken against me recently send me a private message and said, you know what, man, if nothing else, I got to give you props for being consistent. You have pushed this Save Jackson thing, and you have pushed this Clay Edwards thing down everybody's throats and you're just nonstop. You've been nonstop, and I respect your hustle. I was like, well, thank you, man. When your enemies are giving you props, I feel like I need some new enemies.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I tell people all the time, the awards, Billboard plaques, that's for my haters.
Yeah.
And I said, but the music is from people that love me. So it's like, great, but the Billboard, so when people question my ability or my artistry, it's like, but Billboard says otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So this is why I go so hard to make sure people know that, these things are important in that aspect. But, I mean, I can be completely fine if I never had a Billboard and, still was able to, live off the proceeds of what I do. So it's just a great opportunity. And like I said, just a moment. I've been doing music for almost 20 years, writing and rhyming, and here I am finally breaking some, ground and actually be able to build something. So it's just timing. Whenever God wants you to, go before it, then just make some noise.
Now, did I read this right, that this is your first full album?
Yes, my first full album was No Apologies, my debut album.
Yeah.
I got bad ADHD. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but you add that with, anxiety, everything else that comes with making yourself vulnerable as an artist. It's just hard to really complete something and put it out. But I made sure to go ahead and do something this time, and I didn't think of it as me just being crazy vulnerable, but more of the people I can help with it. And because I thought more on those people, it allowed me to finish this album.
Man, that's cool. So you got the Space Force album now.
Right.
And that's a collab with who?
The Marine rapper and D-Cure. And the producer on that album is Killer Vic Beats, and we're all veterans. That's
what's up, man. I was checking that out some last night as I was doing a little show prep. I love the whole vibe with the Space Force thing. I love the artwork. I love the photo shoots that y'all did. The whole 9 yards, man. It rocks for real. And I wish you nothing but success with that. It's hard to wish you much more success. You're kind of sitting in a perch. Tell me this. I see that you got a tour starting to unfold.
Yes, sir.
What we got to do to get you to Jacktown, man?
You got to hit me up. The price is right. Come on down, or any venues that want to work with me. That's kind of been another hard thing for us is finding places that want to work with us.
Yeah.
Because although I have a #1 Billboard hit, I'm still relatively new on the venue and concert scene. So not having prior shows is kind of been tough, trying to talk to these venue owners and everything. And then also on top of that, my message, right? I remember we went down to the Alamo back in February. The Alamo.
Here in Jackson. Or the San Antonio.
The San Antonio.
Oh, the Alamo.
The Alamo. We went to the Alamo. We were the first rappers ever and hip-hop artists to perform at the Alamo.
That's amazing, man.
Yes, sir. And we performed, but we could not perform the Patriot.
Really?
Yeah, we could not. They said it was too political for the Alamo. Like the Alamo's.
There was a war here.
There was a war. It's like, but it was too political. So I understand that there are certain venues that don't want to deal with us because of our political messaging. Even though other artists have political messaging in them, whether they're BLM or anything else, it's still political.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to express themselves freely without any, backlash.
Look, man, we're gonna take one more break here, and then we'll come back, finish up to the top of the hour. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. I've got special guest, veteran, #1 hit maker, Topher, in the studio with me, and most of all, a fellow Mississippian that we're going to support live here on Memorial Day on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show live in the Generator Power Solutions studio. So I didn't mention it, but if you guys want to call in and talk to Topher here after this break in the second hour, you can reach us on the Black Axis Throwing Club phone line at 601-879-0002. So if you got any questions for Topher, you want to give a shout out to any military, just your thoughts on Memorial Day, man, we'll take calls on that. Man, one of the things that we were talking about in the break were the difference in, say, conservative rap and your traditional hip-hop, I guess is the best way to say it. Sex, drugs, violence.
We'll say mainstream because it's not traditional.
I like that. Mainstream hip-hop is, when was the last time you heard about a conservative rapper getting killed?
I haven't heard not one conservative rapper has been shot.
Funny how that works. It's kind of like when you quit breaking the law. Police quit messing with you. When you quit putting bad juju out, you stop getting bad juju in.
Everyone preaches about karma, but don't apply that rule to themselves. It's like, yeah, if you put it into the atmosphere, regardless of what people think, we're speaking beings. God made us that way. And what we speak will come to fruition, and we sow those seeds. So if all you're talking about is drug, this and that, and you're going to, die from this game, do all that stuff, well, bet your bottom dollar that is what's going to happen.
You can will things into existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whether prosperity or death.
But yeah, people got mad at me. I made a post about that a while back. I said, man, all these people dying from Chicago rappers. I think it's almost like a rapper every month or every week at this point.
Yeah, between Chicago and Atlanta.
Some rappers dying from some beef or gang related activity. And everyone's like, oh, my gosh, died so young. And I'm just looking at them like, y'all know why they died, right? Like, they don't have to die. Just like none of my conservative buddies have died. And that's simply, we don't choose to participate in that type of lifestyle. Y'all glorify these things. Yeah. Y'all don't tell them, hey, you need to stop doing this or get out of that lifestyle. You have money now. Why are you still gang banging and slanging when you have thousands of dollars that you supposedly have, right? You're supposed to have like six figures. But you still want to be involved with this criminal activity instead of living a great life and building something for a future. Either you're lying about the money you have, so that's why you still do the gang banging and slanging, or you just ignorant and you just need to make better choices in your life.
Yeah, growing up, I didn't really think that Dr. Dre was selling dope. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't really think that Master P was making crack like this in the kitchen. I took it for entertainment and enjoyed it for what it was. And these guys are, as a wrestling fan, they refer to what Ric Flair did as living the gimmick. Yeah. They're living the gimmick a little too much when they don't have to. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to see more people kind of see the light and come out on the other side. But you make your bed, I guess you got to go to sleep in it.
It's happening. And I don't completely blame the rappers because the industry and the industry reps and the execs, they're the main ones that push things. So.
All right, look, we're here at our top of the hour break. We just had another guest join us in the studio. Y'all hang tight. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB.
He's here to cancel culture.
Who are you then?
Just the fly in the ointment, the monkey in the wrench.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Memorial Day blowout edition of the Clay Edwards Show. Man, we're just having some fun up here, man. There's no place else I'd rather be than where I am right now. We have got Mississippi's very own #1 album holder, #1 hit single maker, Topher, in studio with me. And now we've added the straw that stirs the drink. Miss Therese Apel with DarkhorseMediaNow.com.
DarkhorsePressNow.com.
DarkhorsePress.com.
Big difference.
DarkhorsePressNow.com. Did I get it right that time?
Got it.
All right. DarkhorsePressNow.com. Y'all listening to the Clay Edwards Show. So look, man, the whole thing is it's Memorial Day. And you got 3 people in the room here who want to give back. People who are in one form of media or another. Independent, content creators, whether it's me on the radio, Therese doing the media, the news stuff, or Topher doing music. And we all, the more we all work together in this box here, in this digital realm or media realm, the more successful we're all going to be. I'm disappointed in Mississippi for not putting a sign in Kilmichael, Mississippi, or Philadelphia, Mississippi. It says Topher, home of Topher. You know, I mean, you know, we celebrate all these blues milestones, and I love blues music. It's not a knock. But how many blues artists went number one?
I can't think of many. You know, I joke about this, but I'm from Kilmichael, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And that's the home of B.B. King, right? And we have a sign like that in my town. And I recently went there and I said, hey, you know, y'all have to make room because now you got to put, you know, home of Topher and B.B. King because, you know, I'm going to keep rising to the top and just keep breaking all expectations that people have of me because that's what I want to do.
Man. Look, man, after listening to your song, I don't think that time is too far away because I was driving in. I have to say I've never heard a hip-hop song that actually brought tears to my eyes, but I come from a military family, and man, that was real. You were the real deal.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I get that a lot, and I had people write articles saying I never had a song bring me to tears like this, and I was like, man, I matter of fact, to tell you about this story real quick if I got time, but I had a lady hit me up on Instagram, and she's telling me that her husband was a cop, and he recently had a bad accident at work, and to the point where he died multiple times. So they had to bring him back. They said after they brought him back multiple times, she started playing the Patriot, and he never did anything else after that. He just kept like life just started coming more into his body because he's just a patriot at heart, right? You know, he's serving the country. And he just kept coming back. And now she said that's all she plays when he's doing, like, therapy and just anything and I was just like, bro, I don't know what to say to this. You know, we sent her some headphones for free just so he can listen real good to the sound and keep going. But to know that, you know, your music is touching people to that level, like, as you say, spiritually almost in your soul is crazy. Because I made the song just to kind of talk about what I seen when I was out, you know, when I met, you know, Clay and everybody. When I was out at the MAGA rallies, when I was in D.C., just seeing the sentiment of everyone's frustration of what we saw in 2020 with, you know, the illiberal lockdowns and policies that we saw. So just to put it into words and just to show that despite the ugliness that the world may see, there's a lot of Americans here who still love this country, and we're going to stand and fight for her.
You know, I told you, and I can't remember if it was on air or or during the break, but I'm a 43-year-old white guy, obviously. You see me here. I'm a conservative. But I grew up in the hip-hop generation from the birth of hip-hop. You know, I was big of a rock fan as I was a hip-hop fan. I mean, you may log on my Facebook one day and see me share a Poison or Motley Crue song as well as a Tupac song. I'm a Master P. I had a No Limit medallion back in the 90s. Sir. I was that guy, you know. I feel like hip-hop turned its back on me. And it told me about 5-6 years ago, we don't want you no more. You know, especially about the time Trump announced he was running. I just felt like hip-hop really said, if you like Trump or you're a conservative, we don't need you anymore. I'm not foolish enough to think that I didn't age out of it some too. I mean, I still like the classics that I grew up on, but I kind of quit listening to new hip-hop. It just got when it went into the mumble rap and all this stuff. And then again, I just feel like it didn't line up with my values, and I didn't want to support that. And then somebody like you comes out, and man, it wasn't hard for me to fall right back into listening to your music. When the break hits in the Patriot, I'm in the car, you know, just getting at it, man. I was like, oh, it feels good to be back in love with hip hop because I'm not going to be that 43-year-old white guy that tells you, oh, I don't listen to rap music. I'd be lying. I love rap music. I love hip hop. But I felt like it didn't love me back, you know. And then you hear something like yours, and like this is talking to me on a spiritual, molecular level. This is this guy saying what I wish I could articulate, and I just want to tell you thank you.
I appreciate that.
You know, real talk, just from me to you. Thank you. So we got another song queued up here. This is off the Space Force album.
Yes, sir. Space Force Retreat. This one is called High Moon. You can find it. It's the leading single, but yeah, please check it out and make sure you grab that album on iTunes.
All right, y'all grab this on iTunes. Just type in Space Force, High Moon, and you can find it being played for the first time, I know, in Mississippi, maybe America, on radio. High Moon by Space Force.
Banger, gotta bang. We the ones that put the words that's scrolling out in outer space. You don't want a war with stars, we all a problem. We the gang that took over these coordinates. Don't bring it our way. Fire, better retire. On the job, ain't no one higher. High up, see the hardest drivers. Galaxy riders, alien siders. Out in the field, we left them signs in. This is seismic, broke that ground, that's why we signed up. Zodiac signs, ain't no one
I'm a desperado, double with no next to follow. Time I give them extra throttle, but I never need a flex it. Better when you exit, we shine like Apollo. And I gotta hold this to accolades, I'm feeling like Milano. No rappers have gone the motto, ayy. Fire, burning all through my veins, aiming higher and higher. Enemies know my name. Banger, gotta bang. We the ones that put the words that's scrolling out in outer space. You don't want a war with stars, we all a problem. We the gang that took over these coordinates. Don't bring it our way. This that make them wanna bounce. Tag them, bag them, going dragging, racking up the body counts. Breathing fire on my rivals, melting every single rifle. Burning cities to the ground, most are dead upon arrival. Going down must be your FICO, no we're going at you like a hypo. Allergenic, venomous viper, killing it sniper, in your vitals. And echoing like a rhino, earth etching them like a vinyl. We unidentified flying in Space Force, you know the title. Ay. Fire. Burning all through my veins, aiming higher and higher. Enemies know my name. Banger, gotta bang. We the ones that put the words that's scrolling out in outer space. You don't want a war with stars, we all a problem. We the gang that took over these coordinates. Don't bring it our way. Just give me 30 seconds, man.
This that make them wanna bounce. Tag them, bag them, going dragging, racking up the body counts. Breathing fire on my rivals, melting every single rifle. Burning cities to the ground. Most of this that make them wanna bounce. Tag them, bag them, going dragging, racking up the body counts. Breathing fire on my rivals, melting every single rifle. Burning cities to the ground, most are dead upon arrival. Woo!
All right, that was Space Force featuring Topher, the Marine rapper, and D-Cure, their hit song, High Moon. I can't articulate words this morning, apparently. Man, that was strong right there, brother.
Yes, sir.
It's number 3 on the iTunes charts.
That album, Retreats, is number 3 on iTunes hip-hop charts. I think it's 31 out of all genres. Out of all songs, whether pop, anything. Number 31 album in the country. We're going to keep rising. You know, like I said, we're only second or third to J. Cole and DMX.
Man, to think about the fact that an independent artist is not only in the top 100, but in the top 50, all genre, with no radio play.
First radio play. You can't say no more.
Oh yeah, true that. You know, you heard it here first. The Clay Edwards Show. Artists hit me up. No, it was funny, man. I was telling the boss here at the station what I had going on today, and I was like, yeah, we got a rapper, a guy that does rap music coming on, and I was like, but he does this really inspirational rap. There's no cussing. He's like, oh, well, that'd be good for the radio. I was like, well, I'm going to take that as permission to play music today. And so I ran with that, and it's Memorial Day, so here we are. So one of the things that I want to make sure we hit on is you are a 6-year veteran of the Air Force. I just think it's very important to keep driving home on Memorial Day. So you speak from a place of experience, too. You're not just a guy that's patriotic. Mm-hmm. You are a patriot. I mean, legit, you know, U.S. Armed Forces, 6 years. What was that like, man? What pushed you? What pushed you to join the military?
Well, it was one. So take it back. So I grew up in a single parent household. Just poverty, just extreme poverty. My mom did the best she could, but she had struggled with alcohol. So a lot of drunken nights with her and just, her boyfriends be drunk and domestic violence. Like I grew up with, but that to me, that still, it gave me an example of what I didn't want to be like. So when I got to college and starting to see that behavior come, I started to, recreate that behavior a little bit. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do something different. And then, I started dating my girlfriend at the time, who now is my wife, a long time.
Shout out to the nuclear family.
Yes, sir. I got, so we decided to join the military after she kind of told me because I got close with God, like, how do I know what God want me to do? And that's how it just came upon me that that's what he wanted me to do. So I took that path and I built a foundation, which I have today, and just used that platform to continue to launch forward. But when I was in the military, it was crazy because I'm so used to being in Mississippi, which has like some of the biggest black population in any state. So when I got to the military and I went straight to California, Monterey to be specific, I was like the only black person. So it was almost like a culture shock, So I was like, okay, this is, I was taken aback a little bit, but I quickly adapted, and a lot of stuff that was taught to me, being from Mississippi and how things are still kind of segregated a little bit, maybe just unconsciously, but not, not consciously.
We self-segregate.
Right. Just because, yeah. Right? But I went there, and then I realized a lot of my supporters were white people, right? Like, even when it came to my music and everything else I did, people wanted to see me succeed, and I got a lot of help. So they helped break what I was used to, or my thoughts, my prior thoughts. So I just kept excelling. And then, I'm just real quick, I was a cryptologic language analyst in the Air Force. My specialty was Hebrew. And, with my area expertise was the Middle East. So all this Israel stuff, I'm just like, I know stuff that you guys don't know, and you're just wrong on the issue, right? Hamas is just terrible, point blank, period. But I was in the military, did that, and God, every step of the way, I'm from Mississippi. Poor school, poor resources, and bad draw, right? When you get in Mississippi. Bad English. But I was the top of my class learning a whole brand new language.
That's amazing. Now, did you go to college, or was the Air Force your college?
I went to college for about a year. I dropped out the first semester. And then I went to college again. This one I met my wife before I joined. So I really didn't have much college before I joined the military. I actually got most of my college doing and after the military.
Gotcha.
And so now I got like 3 associates. So it's honorary bachelor's right there.
All right, look, we're going to take a quick break here real quick on the Clay Edwards Show. I've got Topher, Therese, Apel in the studio with me. We're going to blow it out here on Memorial Day. We actually have a real-life veteran in the studio on Memorial Day. I'm so pumped about this. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. All right, welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show here on this Memorial Day Monday. We are in the Generator Power Solutions studio. Real quick, let me tell you about Generator Power Solutions. Do you need a home standby generator? Looking for comfort, security, convenience? A permanently installed Generac home backup generator protects your home automatically. Heck, let me just tell you all a story instead of reading this. Yesterday, my power went out in Crossgates. Luckily, we were going to a barbecue, and we didn't have to be there. Could you imagine you're at home, Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, something like that, some rolling blackouts, make your power go out, not even a storm. Beautiful day yesterday. And it ruins your barbecue plans, at least if you plan on doing anything inside the house. If you had a home backup generator from Generator Power Solutions, you wouldn't have to worry about your barbecue being ruined. So give Jason Frost and his team a call today at 601-519-4064 or check them out online at GeneratorPowerSolutionsLLC.com. All right, Topher, we were talking about something during the break again that I got to bring onto this side of it. You mentioned growing up in a single parent household, and you didn't let that narrative stop you from finding success, but you did say it wasn't easy.
Right.
I mean, it still had its struggles. I mean, it was not easy on your mother. And, of course, it wouldn't be, right? Raising, how many, you have one brother? Or?
Well, my mom had 5. We had one that passed away. She was a baby. But my mom had 5 kids. And, like I said, just kind of raising on her own, dealing with the challenges, She ended up having a disability when I was about 6 or 7. So just, because my mom wanted to take care of her kids. It wasn't neglect from her part, but she wanted to take care of us. So we had that type of mentality. It's just stressful when we only could do so much. So.
Well, and the trauma associated with losing a child had to be really hard for her. That's something that makes everything else harder. Yeah,
I think that's what made her kind of, I don't know, either stop working so hard, but it definitely did not help with the drinking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, she I lost my sister Kenyatta. She was 4 years older than me, and she passed away. She wasn't even 1 yet, I don't believe.
So this is before you were born.
Before I was born.
3 years before you were born, basically. Well, I guess it'd be 4 years. Anyhow, that I think we're learning more and more about PTSD, and you mentioned that, Therese, what that can cause, and you mentioned the drink and Topher. As we learn more about mental illness and stuff, I think that we're learning that people, it isn't just from war. It can be from growing up in poverty-stricken areas like Jackson, like the Delta. It create, and you're around violence constantly, or you lose a child. We don't know what that does for people. I mean, you can sit here and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't imagine what you're going through," and you're right, you can't. You can be sympathetic to it, and I know that's appreciated by people. But there's none of us that, unless we've walked a mile in those shoes, we just don't know what that person's going through. So, props to your mother for being able to do what she did. Raise a successful child in yourself, and get those morals instilled in you to do what you've done. So, thank you, Mom.
Yeah, she was a superstar.
Absolutely. So, what else we got going on, man?
That's concert coming up. First live concert of Topher and the gang. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bryson Gray.
Very.
Bryson Gray, the Marine rapper D-Cure. We're all doing a show called Free the Patriot Tour. It's just going to be, us getting together. We're going to have anything you think that you love about this country, we're going to be having at the show. We're going to be doing prayer. We're going to be doing the national anthem. We're going to be doing probably the Pledge of Allegiance, just restoring that love for country and love for each other. So if you've been cooped up in the house because of the mask mandates and everything else that's going on, come on out. Masks are optional. I'm not going to give you heck about, wearing a mask, but you try to force it on me, we got a different issue. But we're going to have great fun. It's family friendly, so you don't have to worry about any cussing. So you want to bring your kids. It's going to be in Lexington, Kentucky at the Manchester Music Hall. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, the capacity about 600 people, so you might want to get your tickets. You might want to grab your tickets. It's not that huge of a venue, but it's going to be a great time. Like I said, we're going to be on, I think after that, we're looking to do a tour here with Tommy Vexed.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Tommy. He was a singer for Bad Wolves.
Bad Wolves, yeah.
They redid. They had a #1 hit themselves in their remake of the Cranberry Zombies song.
Yes, sir.
Tommy is a legit dude. He had to leave the band over his politics. I mean, they won't just say that, but that's what it was over.
Absolutely. They didn't only try to force him to leave because of his politics, but they tried to sabotage his whole, who he was during the process. So he couldn't even build back, come back stronger or continue to be successful without them.
Yeah.
So he's fighting that right now. And once again, me and him are friends. We talk all the time, and he wants to bring us on tour and starting July 10th. So if you want to make sure you see Tommy and Topher on tour, make sure you reach out to him on social media and say, hey, get Topher on tour with you, because we want to see those guys that's pretty much been counseled and just kind of shunned by the industry and by others, come out and just show how we can do it despite that.
Now, tell me something, because I love Lexington, Kentucky. What's the date of that concert that you've got coming up?
June 4th, this Friday.
June 4th, okay.
Last-minute road trip. Hey.
That's what I was thinking, can I pull that off?
It's an 8-hour drive. I've already did the calculations for me from Philadelphia. So it's probably about the same from Jackson.
It's about 9 hours, I think.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, this Tommy Vexed Topher tour is talking to me a little bit here. I'm gonna ring some promoters' phones here locally, some venue owners, and maybe see if we can't put something together. Because I think Cancel Fest 2021, and see what we can't make happen. We're all about anti-cancel culture. That's the not the antithesis of this show. That's we're all about canceling cancel culture. And that's we thrive for it every day, and that's why we're very appreciative of our First Amendment platform here at WYAB. So we'd love to be a part of anything to do with that. And I talked about something, speaks on something else we talked about, and that is the Conservative Party in general missing a great opportunity to embrace hip hop and to embrace culture outside of, it ain't just country music, man. It ain't just Leonard Skinner and Southern rock that represents conservative people, man. It's a wide fray of people. And I'm calling out all my fellow conservatives out there that may be listening right now. Man, open your arms up to these folks. Start spreading your wings a little bit. Think outside your box a little. I mean, you got a guy like Topher with nearly 1 million followers on TikTok, 20-something million likes of his videos on TikTok. I don't even have a TikTok, and this dude is just killing it over there, reaching a younger demographic, reaching that demographic of our children that China is trying to reel away from us. All the TikTok drama with Trump and all that stuff, and you got a guy on the platform preaching our values. We need to support this.
Well, and I think it's also worth saying that on both sides of the line, but, we look at things sometimes and we say, that doesn't look like me. That doesn't look like anything I want to do. Absolutely. Like maybe you've got a thing back there where you hate rap. And so I don't care what he does. I'm not listening. I don't like rap. That's stupid. Stop and check out what he's doing, because if it's a positive thing he's bringing into the world, why wouldn't you want to support that? And I guess it could go the other way. I don't like country. I don't like, rock, whatever. But I think that it's a problem that both sides of the table have right now that is straight up, I'm looking at you, you're different than me. And so, therefore, I don't believe anything you say about whatever your platform is. And I think that's kind of what you're running up against. In some cases, just people have drawn the line and they aren't asking the questions,
Well, we're not asking questions. We're just going to do our own thing. They're going to be like, how he get here? Don't worry about it. That's kind of how we're doing it. So when they see me VIP up there with Trump in his campaign, it's like, what is he doing here? Oh, I'm a rapper. Don't worry about it. We're going to perform in a minute. You just come on along. It's, and once again, it's not about you. It's about the next generation. And once again, you might not be a big fan of this, but if you see your kids, because hip-hop is the number one genre in America, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely.
So if you have somebody on the inside that's doing incredible music and actually making an impact, it would behoove you, especially if you having those issues about your kids listening to certain stuff and having an influence from mainstream media and just all the negativity, to use artists, to introduce them to these artists. And once again, I can name a few, just Topher, me, the Marine Rapper D-Cure, Bryson Gray, Tyson James, Forgiato Blow, Bird, and all these people that's really embracing the conservative values.
Forgiato Blow is wild, man.
He is.
He is. He's a character, dude. I say him and Vanilla Ice and Rick Ross got a video. He's on another level there, man. He's over the top. But you need that.
You need everything. You need the people who got the flair. You need the people that's just, doing the focusing on the messaging more. But you need all of us, and just know that we're all moving in the same direction.
Yeah, I look at your style as like a legit hip hop MC.
Yep.
There's a difference, in just a guy that gets up there and, repeats the same thing over and over and over versus a guy who's really spitting verses, and a legit MC. You remind me of an old school 90s hip-hop MC, and that's the highest praise I can give a rapper. I just like just your art form. You're killing it.
And we try to do it that way, for sure.
Well, and that's one thing that when you said that earlier, Clay, that it resonated with me when you said, after you follow Tupac. And, it sounds funny, and I know it's not the same. I'll go ahead and say this. But MC Hammer was one of my favorites. And, just you go through all that, but Tupac was definitely my man. And so I guess I just drifted away from hip-hop just because I grew up and I really got my list of songs that I listened to, and they're still the same now as they were in college. Yeah. But I heard yours, and it was like I felt it not just here now as me as an adult, but I think 18-year-old me felt it, 22-year-old me felt it. And I think it's universal in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I was saying is I felt like hip-hop, you age out of it somewhat if you decide to grow up and be a responsible adult. You just eventually get tired of rapping about or hearing about money, sex, drugs, violence, WAP, all this other stuff that's so popular right now. It's like that's not talking to me, and I get it, But when you grow up listening to a form of music, you're like, I don't want to just divorce it and only listen to the stuff I grew up on. I would love to hear something that spoke to me as an adult why I loved, there was a Jay-Z album that came out. It was just like the real adult feeling album. But that was probably the last new hip-hop album I listened to, and I can't remember which one it was now.
Was it 44?
Either 44, it may have been.
Oh, not 44. Was it? It was something like that.
Yeah. It was 2 or 3 albums ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that was some real adult rap. You know, like it felt like I was listening to a grown man tell grown man stories versus, you know, about coming up through the struggle versus constantly pretending that you're still living in the struggle as a guy worth $1 billion. You know, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear real life, you know, and I get that out of yours. Look, we got to take a break real quick. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. This segment was brought to you by Lakeland Glass and Tint, where quality matters. If you need automotive tint, home or commercial tint, or automotive windshield, hit them up, 601-946-1000, or check them out online at lakelandglassandtint.com. All right, welcome back to the Memorial Day blowout edition of the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 WYAB. This segment is brought to you by Black Axes Throwing Club. Check out Central Mississippi's only axe throwing club. You can check out their Fannin Mart location out on the Reservoir in Brandon or in Pearl at the Outlets, Mississippi. Check them out online at blackaxesms.com now to schedule your lane. And when you go to the old Fannin Mart location, be sure to try the cheese sticks and thank me later. You will not be disappointed. The hamburger's really good too. All right, during the break, we were talking about how conservative black families really are, and just black folks in general are a very conservative bunch. I know growing up in the South, you can't walk in anybody black's house without something religious being on the walls, the Bible being present, very religious, church every Sunday. But why don't you think that translates to voting? Because it seems to be that there are a lot of Democrats out of the bunch, and they tend to vote the opposite way of their religion, which would be for the party that wants to take Jesus out of everything, the pro-abortion party, all of this stuff. Where's the disconnect?
Marketing. I've complained about this for the longest, that Republicans or just people on the right just suck at marketing. We I guess we view marketing as pandering, right?
Propaganda.
Or propaganda. It's like, no, it's, you know, just because you got the greatest steak doesn't mean that you don't need to tell the world that you have the greatest steak. And sometimes you have to, you know, get them over there first so they can actually see, you know, and I feel like we need to do a better job with that. You know, I don't call it selling out, doing anything. I just call it just being good with our messaging. So I just think we need to talk more and be more direct and have that representation. But like you said, you know, I grew up going to church every Sunday, like most black kids. Of course, you know, my mom didn't play none of this stuff. You was home before, you know, nighttime, and we didn't really go to parties and things like that. So these conservative values I grew up with, I didn't understand that was part of the Republican Party until I became an adult, right? One day, because I asked my mom, I said, "Why do you vote Democrat?" She said, "Because this is what we do." That's it. That was her reason. And I was like, that's not enough for me. That's a little inadequate. So I did a little research, and I really just very basically went to the Republican, you know, National Committee, and saw their platform, and then I went to the Democrat, and I just kind of lined them up and saw which one I agree with most. It's like, yeah, of course I'm pro-life. Like, I don't think you should just be murdering children. Then I was like, of course I'm pro-Jesus. Like, that's easy, you know. So it just kept going over here. I was like, why the heck are we voting Democrat? All right, just why? They do not represent us. You know, I don't believe in transgenderism and allowing, you know, men to compete with women. You know, I just don't believe in that. You know, it's just like, this is just not black people. And everyone is speaking for black people. They're only allowing certain people. Like, they're going to shun Candace Owens. They're going to try to silence Officer Tatum. They're going to try to cancel Topher and the Patriot because they don't want that going anywhere. It's like, people like us, they don't want us speaking. They won't invite us to schools, anything. But they want to put and push one particular mindset, and that is on purpose because they know that in the battle of ideals, since we already lean conservative, are conservative, we will always win.
Yeah. It's interesting that you said that. I just have one quick question. Do you feel like sometimes when you've got one side telling you how you should be as a black man and the other side saying, oh, but look, see, we have black people too. Like, does it ever feel like you're kind of caught in the middle of something? Because, you know, when you're talking about marketing, I perceive that when I watch some of the discussions that go on politically. And I always just think, you know, what if I was just what if I was black and I was just trying to do my job and be me while I've got both sides kind of manipulating it?
Yeah, because conservatives, like, I'm not, they're trying to say, like, of course, conservatives for black people. Look, we got black people. Then the blacks will be like, oh, you're a sellout. To me, it's just like, once again, this is why I'm not the black person to put my race before anything else. I'm not black first. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm a child of God first.
You should meet our 4 to 6 guy, Kim Wade.
I am God first. And then after that, I'm American citizen. After that, I'm military. I'm a veteran. These are things that I chose. I don't put things that I never chose. I didn't get to pick my race or my color of my skin. So I'm not going to prioritize that over what I chose to do. I'm just never going to do that. People can hate me for that, whatever. But, yes, I get it. Sometimes someone's going to be prejudiced towards me because of my skin, but I can't control that. But what I can control is who I am as a person, my characteristics. And I focus on that. And whether people flock to me because I'm black, cool, whatever. But while you're over here because I'm black, I'm going to educate you on something. And while you're calling me a sellout, I'm just going to keep selling out these arenas and breaking the cycle of poverty that's going on in my family and helping others along the way. So regardless who hate or however you want to try to use me, I'm going to do my own thing.
That's what's up. Look, real quick, man, I want to play another song off your album. You want to set up Circle Back for him real quick?
Absolutely. JonesyQ, we all know now, White House Press Secretary JonesyQ. She's infamous for saying circle back and never answer any questions. So I was like, as a political artist, activist, I was like, I like making fun and light of things. So I decided to create a song called Circle Back. And JonesyQ, if you're listening, I hope you are one day. This song is dedicated to you.
All right, this is Topher. This is Circle Back. For the first time ever on radio right here in Jackson, Mississippi.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with him. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back.
It's pretty obvious we all know you're pretending. You have no actual facts for the lies that you're defending. Conservatives not the only ones who find it condescending. The real reason you circle back is because you know it's never ending. Round and round and round you go, dancing like a puppet show. Just a simple yes or no. Thousands watching wanna know the truth. I guess there's too much to ask. Like why Biden was at the Lincoln Memorial without a mask, huh? Can't believe what I'm seeing now. Got everyone thinking.
Circle back. I'll have to just circle back with you.
Circle back.
I'm happy to circle back.
Circle back. Only just to hear you say. In the beginning, we tried giving you a chance, but it seems intimidating if reporters start raising hands. Is it better if we send you the questions far in advance? Honestly, all we really want is answers about your man. Cause the fence around the Capitol means it's for securing borders. With Harriet Tubman on the 20, who can we expect on quarters? If Trump decided to sign this many executive orders, will you consider him a dictator or truly support it? We wanna know. Can't believe what I'm seeing now. Got everyone thinking now. Just how much you get paid. Only just to hear you say.
We'll circle back with you.
Circle back.
I'll have to just circle back with you.
Circle back.
I'm happy to circle back.
Circle back. Only just to hear you say. Alright, JonesyQ, you're the blunt of the joke, but this message for anybody I see still fake woke. We see the strings of the vision that you all constantly stroke, and the fist full of propaganda you shove down our throats. Boy, I miss the days when we used to have Kaylee Mack. When they rapid fire questions, she would counterattack. How does it feel to know that we all caught on to the act? Let me guess.
I will have to circle back with you on that as well.
Can't believe what I'm seeing now. Got everyone thinking now. Just how much you get paid. Only just to hear you say.
We'll circle back with you.
Circle back.
I'll have to just circle back with you.
Circle back.
I'm happy to circle back.
Circle back. Only just to hear you say.
All right, that was Topher's new hit song. Let's make it a hit song, Circle Back. Man, how cool is that to hear your stuff on the radio?
Man, it's very refreshing. It just Who knew there was gonna be this moment? Right? It's like
I know. I mean, I'm the king of uncomfortable moments, and just odd moments and whatever. I mean, it's like it's my shtick. It's like let's play rap music on conservative talk radio. You know what, man? If you're gonna get up and come down on Memorial Day to be here at 7 a.m., I mean, you had to get up about 4.
Yeah, I was up about 4:30.
You know what? We're gonna play your music. That's my thank you. Real talk. I mean, even if you hadn't have. If we had been doing this on the phone or something, I'd have still done this. But the fact that you came here and do it, man, if y'all could see me on the cameras right now, my eyes are lit up. I'm sitting straight up in my chair, making eye contact with the man across from me. I'm very appreciative, very appreciative. And we have Therese Apel here, and she's actually doing a story about this. I'm not sure when that'll come out. She'll let us know.
Hopefully this afternoon.
Even better, So this is how I don't want to lump Therese into a political thing. She's a non-biased news organization. She's going to tell a story based on facts. So I don't want to lump her into our political stuff, but I just want to say I thank you for coming to do this, because independent content creators, which we all are in one form, fashion, or another, need each other. We're all wings of the same bird, as they say, and we all need each other to be successful. So
look, this is an honor to get to meet you, Topher. It just, what you're doing is so brave. And it's phenomenal to see what you've done so far, and I can't wait to see how far you go.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Look, we're gonna take our last break here real quick, then we're gonna come back, say our goodbyes, and tell everybody how to reach Topher. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 WYAB. About 90 seconds here before we're off to enjoy our Memorial Day. Thank you again to all of our military, past, present, and future, for that matter.
Amen.
Topher, Therese, what's going on, man? Topher, we'll start with you. How can they find you? You got any last words for our audience?
You can find me at Tophertown Music on any platform, or you can visit me on my website at tophertown.com. And I just want to say, guys, just one time for all the veterans, American heroes that have given their life for this country, just honoring Memorial Day. And if you could honor these veterans and my fellow brothers in arms, if you could purchase our album, Space Force Retreat, on iTunes, Amazon Music today.
That's awesome. Tress?
Darkhorse Press now, Darkhorse Press on Facebook, Darkhorse_Press on Twitter. We'll have this out this afternoon. Thank you so much to those who serve.
Absolutely. Look, and as you know, if you missed any of this, you want to go back and listen, just search The Clay Edwards Show on any and all music streaming platforms, including Spotify. And we'll be on YouTube, as much as I hate YouTube. We try to make it as accessible as possible. I figure you can't fight the culture war if you're not on the front lines of the culture war. I don't like Twitter, but I'm also there at Save JXN. Mike Madison is up next. Thank you guys for tuning in today.